Hello, everybody! Late night hype, boys. It's the FullRestore podcast at currently 11 o'clock at night, and everyone just wants to go to bed except nobody.
It's too late.
But
It's too late for this.
Poke memes do not. Poke memes and Poke puns and apparently Poke sensors from that stream. They don't stop to rest.
Apparently
God.
not.
I might be eating through this, but not into the mic. So I have not told my two guests, who I'm going to have introduce themselves in a second. I've not told them what our topics are. So who the hell are you guys? And why should they care that you're here?
I'm Birdie, and you should care that I'm here because I'm always here. So you better get used to me. Yeah,
And I guess
that's
that
it.
means it's my turn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's your turn. That awkward
All right.
silence was...
This is
Pretty
Bushy, aka Professor Bushy, aka Gym Leader Blaine, aka Jotaro Kujo, aka the greatest podcast assistant of all time. Hi, how are you?
AKA Bushando on Twitch.
Hey.
And I love that ever since Laura, Birdie, ever since you've gotten the whole job thingy, you've had a slightly different talk to yourself, because you're probably dead inside from all the work and hours. But I feel like we could totally play off as your Sacred Ash's older, more responsible sister that's just tired all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. So I have some fun topics for you. Haven't sorted out the exact order, but I want to talk about Pokken Tournament, which will be I guess technically I could call it a max revive because it's technically a new unique way to play Pokemon. Then maybe about Bushy's live stream, some stuff about Laura. But the main thing I want to talk about is something that I heard about a month or two back. And I was really close to getting into it, but I was like, nah, I don't think I'm going to do it. It didn't latch on to me. Until
What is it?
I recently saw Dookie Shed post a video about it saying it's awesome and that everyone should take it. And I'm like, well, if there's ever going to be a hype train for this thing, it's probably going to be now. There's a certain app that I have on my smartphone, which I didn't have back then, which is probably why I didn't do it back then. It's a certain community app. It rhymes with Amiibo.
It rhymes with Amiibo, or is
Yeah.
Amiibo?
It rhymes.
Amino?
Yep,
Like
Pokemon Amino, I got it.
Oh, I was just making a joke, about amino acids.
Do you guys
and
know
stuff.
about Pokemon Amino? All right, so guys, Pokemon Amino is this kick-ass little app that's basically it has everything that a website has. It has blog things, and it has chat rooms, and it has forums, and it has all this stuff, but it doesn't feel like a website. The best way to describe it is it feels like a city. It's not a community like you have a fandom or a book club or, any group of people. It's such a communal thing that it's just like a giant city where everyone's just always doing shit, and you walk down the street and say, I like Torchic, and then 5 people are like, hey, you want to talk about Torchic? Here's a forum about Torchic. And there's all these different tabs for, it's kind of like a Reddit kind of thing where it has tabs for popular discussions going on right now in any topic related to Pokemon. Popular posts, things with notes, kind of a Tumblr feel to it too. But then there's a tab where it's literally just the most recent post of any kind that anyone has made. And there are people who just scroll through that, constantly refreshing it. And there are people making a post every half minute. So I just made some random little blog entries. I made a blog about how I after using this thing for a few hours, I thought it felt like a city more than just a website. And then people are just not reblog or anything, but it's just you can hold up a piece of paper in basically the middle of a highly congested street and people are going to see it. Everyone's on evil playing ground. They have forums and everything, but everyone, people can sign on right away and they have just as much levy as anyone else. I went scrolling through popular threads and there was a person who was just posting reviews of TCG cards from the Holon series. And I saw that and I was like, holy shit, Holon. I remember Holon cards. I had a Holon's cast form that I fucking loved. The thing was badass. Anyone ever collect cards from that generation? It was a 3rd gen thing in the
I
trading card
collected
game.
cards right up until the 5th generation. I never learned how to play them. I just collected them because they were shiny.
Did anyone ever see a Holon's card? They had a unique little type symbol.
I probably had it. I have more Pokemon cards than I'd like to admit.
Holon cards were amazing, but I never knew. I thought Holon was a character or something. So I went in the bottom of this guy's post, which had no comments, but a lot of people liking it, like 26 or 26 people liked it. And I was like, hey, Holon cards were the shit. But do you know what Holon actually, who that is? And then within a few minutes, the person was like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, here's the backstory. Holon was a region, just like Kanto and Hoenn and everything. And the people of Holon wanted to find the legendary Mew. So they set up a big laboratory machine to try to find it. Or I should really read their thing word for word. But so far, how does this place sound to you guys?
I'd visit it on vacation.
Wait, you... Oh, I thought you said I visit it on occasion. I'm like, but,
No, I'd visit it on vacation. It's really hard to visit fictional universes. I haven't tried, but
This
I
is
feel
true.
like it'd be
I thought you were
hard.
saying I would visit it on occasion.
I would visit it if I could.
Well, you can. Let me just get to a search here. Yeah. So, a user on Pokemon Amino, not Pokemon named Call Me Quartz, 3 letters, spaces in between. They do this series on Holon cards, and I commented, Holon cards were the shit, asterisk. But who was Holon? Anyone skilled in flavor text respond? And then, very, very shortly, Call Me Quartz responded, I'm glad you asked. I was going to write a blog about this, but in short, I'll give you this. Holon is a region much like Kanto or Hoenn, except it was exclusive to TCG. The people of Holon set on a quest to find the legendary Mew. In doing so, they built a massive research tower, which emitted massive amounts of electromagnetic energy, in turn altering the genetic structure of nearby Pokemon, which then modified or completely changed their type, creating the Holon type that we saw in the card game. Or that was just Steel. So, any community where you can pop in and just say something like that, and then the person just, like, comes up and tells you shit like, that was cool, you know? It's
Give it
sounds
a
pretty good,
look
yeah.
up right now,
It's
because
really cool. I actually reblogged someone else's post, who probably saw the same video, who was like, hey, I should probably see them, the pajamas lobster guy.
is it called Video Games Amino? There are a lot of Aminos.
No,
There's
yeah. It's Pokemon Amino. It's all, it's all Pokemon. Like, it's just, I'm going to go to the feed right now.
There's a lot
And-
of these. There's like Anime
Oh, yeah.
Amino, League of Legends Amino.
Like, I'm going to scroll through the featured stuff. Okay, what do we got here? We got, the gif of, Giovanni dancing with Ludicolo, someone's hand-drawn sketch of Dialga, Strongest Dragon Challenge, a debate about the top 7 Pokegirls, a blog
Misty
about
is
the
the
Lumiose
best.
Ghost Girl,
Competition.
a custom item challenge, Assault Shield plus Contrary Orb on a Charizard, character theme challenge, PokeAmino suggest a post, Pokemon speculated Gen 7 possibilities, whole bunch of Hoopa shit, like there's a ton of Hoopa, but it's like a super compact, extremely efficient, non-redundant Tumblr just for Pokemon. And the best part is that you go to this little tab for chats, for just any chat. It's a public chats, and you can even search nearby because it all runs off location. Whenever you make a post, it posts where you are, if you allow it to. And I can look for any chat rooms that are open that are nearby me within probably a few miles. So someone in our county, I would say at least, Laura, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 chat rooms probably within our area code at least. 2 of them are PokeHuman RPs, a Fantasy Life multiplayer, and a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon RP trial run. And then there's, Shiny Trading, Pokemon Hangouts, Luxray Fans has their own chat room.
Luxray Fans.
Free-for-all
That's
battles
cute.
with a Pepe, a sad Pepe. People who hate YouTubers on here who get a bunch.
What?
What does that even mean?
Oh, who get a bunch of rep and followers who do nothing.
Oh.
Team Aqua
Bitter much?
headquarters, trade, ! Battle, ! Battle, ! with Gohan going Super Saiyan in the background. IV Breeder's chat domain with a Pichu slapping its ass from the anime.
Great.
And there's just so much. There's just infinite. Oh God, it's just so crazy.
I
Also,
downloaded
there is a
it once.
ridiculous amount of PokeHuman RP chat rooms.
Good.
Laura, there is a chat room called Cute Pikachu Chat.
I'm joining right now. That's all I needed. Take my personal information, and by personal information I mean junk email.
Oh my God, this one RP chat room has the best GIF ever. It's like a fan made animation of N, who has their finger like waving as they like kind of do like a head bob thing. Oh my God, I'm just gonna tweet out that screenshot. I love this place. It's so crazy. I love it. It's just like everyone acts like they're a 14-year-old on this place, like a 14-year-old Pokemon person who just loves Pokemon. So, it ends up kind of looking just like a chaos of kids just doing anything they want. I love it.
Wait, it says I already have an account. Wait, what?
Really?
Uh-oh.
Is this that sister we talked about?
Yeah, I guess. Unless maybe I tried to use that Anime Amino app once before,
Oh, right.
and I guess they all share the same account. But that must have been in like 8th grade because I only have a very vague memory of
Yeah, maybe.
that.
So I just tweeted out a picture, and one of them has the N GIF, but it's not a GIF because I screen capped it. But just imagine that N like waving his hand. All the GIFs play really smoothly, like nothing takes long to load, unlike Tumblr. It's so efficient and smooth, and I love it. And I went into the a chat room called Chat and Be Bored or something like that. And there was someone there talking about Pokken Tournament, and they basically I heard them say, yeah, I heard a arcade or something near me is having a Pokken Tournament, and I kind of just like screamed at him, "You little bish, I hate you."
I didn't even know that was in the U.S. yet.
Apparently, or this asshole speaking in English on a Japanese server somehow connecting with an American server. I don't even.
Well, it's definitely not in America yet because I would literally be there right now.
I
Yeah,
know.
pretty much.
The game looks
I-
amazing.
The person said, yeah, and I said, I yelled at them, please play God of War for
I
me.
physically and verbally assaulted them on PokeAmino. That's how that works.
I told them, you must play God of War for me.
There you go.
And tell me how.
Is Gardevoir playable?
Yes!
Uh-huh.
And she's beautiful. It's so good. Oh,
There are a couple of really cool choices that aren't fighting type Pokemon.
yeah,
Weavile.
Pikachu.
Wait, no, Weavile is... No.
Weavile, Gengar.
Suicune, Pikachu.
I'm still waiting for
Suicune?
all of the
Seriously?
old
yeah,
Type Wild.
Suicune's in it.
Hey, man, I'm still waiting for all the Pokemon from Type Wild to get in this. They have Gengar. They have Gardevoir. Now they just need... do they have Blaziken or Combusken?
Blaziken just got announced.
Okay.
Better
They need
have
Combusken.
Blaziken.
They need fucking Breloom. Breloom was in Type Wild, and he was crazy. Do you guys know about Type Wild?
I've seen stuff about it, yeah.
Laura?
Type Wild?
Okay, so red card here. Type Wild was a game made by the original anime Season 1 animator, if I'm correct. It's an unlicensed fighting game that was just downloaded, like it was just flurrying around the internet. Someone found it off a Japanese, image board or something and sent it over and translated it half-assedly. And there's not a lot of story. It's like an arcade thing, and it's really bare bones. But it's in the original animation style, and it has, I think it was made around Gen 4, because I think it has Lucario in it, right?
Yeah, Gen 4, Lucario was Gen 4.
I know, I was just wondering whether or not Lucario was in Type Wild. Might have been added later. But I played that game so much, and Gardevoir is so cheap, and I love it. Oh my god, it's just like, every fighting game has their spammer. Gardevoir is that spammer. And it's so good because Gardevoir's voice actor in it is like, it's not annoying to you, but if you got two players on the same keyboard to fight each other, anyone who is getting their ass handed to them by a Gardevoir spamming Aura Sphere, just like that cute, like, little Japanese voice drives them fucking insane. Just like, bah, 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 spamming the attack over and over again. It's so satisfying.
You're gonna need to send me a clip.
Look up type :wild, no spaces, in YouTube. I think that's how it was spelled or something, but Pokemon Type Wild Gardevoir Fight. It's such a good little arcade fighting game. You were looking for fighting games a few months ago.
It was.
Download this. So good.
Bravely Default, but we're not going to go there.
True.
Because there's going to be swearing and anger.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Oh no, I love it. I'm just frustrated.
I tweeted at her, she made a comment about how the grinding was tedious, and I said, yeah, because we wouldn't play games if they had too much grinding in them. Hashtag Pokemon community.
Yeah.
Hashtag Pokemon challenge run players.
But you just need to,
lose a Pokemon, then have to train up a level 5 to level 40.
That is nowhere near as bad. There are ways around it. I need to, grind up my characters' levels and then grind up each of their, 40 individual jobs to get the right combinations of jobs and then grind for money to
that sounds like a lot of fun.
buy the right items I need.
What is fun at that game? Is it the costumes or something? Or is
the costumes are fun. Some of them are awful.
I remember when I first walked into, back when I walked into GameStops. I walked into a GameStop and I saw Bravely Default, the box. And I'm really bad at mixing things up because I do it a lot. You guys remember Broken Age, right? That Kickstarter game that was amazing when it came out in the first episode. Then 3 years later, they released a second episode, and it was so underwhelming.
Nope.
No. It was a Kickstarter game. That's all you need to know. And basically, say it was $200,000 for the first episode or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
3 years later, and probably another $300,000 or whatever the fuck, and it was King's Quest style, point and click kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And it went through a certain amount of tiles and everything. And spoilers, I won't spoil the story in the first episode is really good, but the story in the second episode is so bad that it ruins the magical feeling of it. So at the end of the first episode, the two players who take place in totally different worlds switch places, and then you play through all the old scenes again. And there's nothing really changed except the moving around of a few characters, because it's 2 minutes after the first episode ended. So people were like, so you spent 3 years moving around 5 sprites and keeping the same screens? There wasn't a single new... There were 3 new screens at the end of the game. Nobody had any idea why it took 3 years. Did it take 3 years just for them to spend the money so that they can say they spent it and didn't hoard it for themselves? People were sketchy about it. But the reason why I bring up Broken Age is because I read it in a article in like a Game Informer a long time ago. And then when I heard about Bravely Default, I thought Bravely Default was Broken Age at first. So I was really confused, mixing up this point-and-click adventure game with a fucking RPG.
JRPG. It's very JRPG.
Yeah, when I think of JRPGs, I think, well, yeah, okay, it is JRPG. I thought of something else first. So I saw Bravely Default, and you know how it has that cover with like the girl in like the weird butterfly dress thing?
That's Ari, and I think she's evil because I hate her, but that's another story.
I saw that, and
Oh
I
my
was just
God.
like, how is this on a shelf in an American store? Where, like, it just, like, the cover art just screamed so much Japan. Like, there was no localization. You know, simple black background, the title in the fancy font, and then a girl who, like, is wearing a sheet of silk and, like, weird butterfly appendages or something. I was just like, this was back when I was probably a sophomore, so I looked at that and I was like, what's this doing here? It's an old game.
It's weeb bait. What do you want?
It is weeb bait.
I
That's
took
why
the
I'm so
weeb bait.
confused. So Pokemon's fun.
Yeah, that's what this podcast was originally about.
So yeah, PokeAmino is so good. Everyone should download that app who's in the Pokemon community. Also, it's a hilariously fun way to shamelessly advertise the channel.
I knew you were gonna get to that. I'm waiting. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna wait for him to say it.
I'll go back to Holon's the Holon conversation. God, I love that dancing end gif. So I'll go back to that. So after they say that, I say, awesome. I'll let my podcast buddies know about that. Reply, like 10 seconds later, podcast? Upside down. It was, period, hyphen, period. And I say, the FullRestore podcast, smiley face. Enter. Day 1. The shameless self-promotion has already begun.
I think we should probably start promoting after we have, actual videos.
I know, we only have podcasts. I started making videos on my channel again for once. I finally played Agario on camera. It was pretty fun. And it basically got me thinking about what I did way back earlier in my channel, which was I played shitty little Flash games. Like, I played Super Crazy Guitar Maniac Deluxe 4, which was this Flash game where you held your keyboard like a Guitar Hero controller. And
really?
It's really fun. My video has shit quality, but you can still hear how decent the music is. And, like, watch that video and play the game, because those games are really fun and really challenging. But the one I played, I think, is by far, like, the most entertaining to play, because it has a lot of colors, and the boss fights are crazy and shit. It's awesome. The only problem is when you get songs you don't want to play, but you need to play to unlock the next songs to get to the harder difficulties. But I'm playing all sorts of Flash games now. Like, just today, I went to Miniclip and played a tower defense game that I haven't played in, like, 3 years. No, more like 6 years. And it was really nostalgic and fun. Called Canyon Defense. That game was fun. So I'm going to go back and play pretty much everything from my childhood until people start saying, hey, I know you like playing good games that you'd recommend to us that we can go and play right now in our browser, but play some shit games. And so at some point, I'm going to have to play some really bad Flash games if that becomes my thing.
Play Yandere Simulator.
I have a friend who plays that, and I have watched their videos. So way back, big red card. Way back, a few months, about a year ago, when Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 was out and stuff, I heard about this this honey badger in the game who was like a big boss, a boss fight against a fucking honey badger that you had to use a minigun to kill or something. It was a funny little thing, and I found a YouTube video where this guy had a voice modifier that like sped up his voice, kind of Gaijin Goomba style. The YouTube channel was called Mortal Alien, and just had a few stupid, really short videos with this guy in this high pitched voice, and I thought it was funny, so I subscribed and commented a few times. Then the channel went dark, and like half a year later, the person's uploading videos again, and the voice modifier is gone, and I noticed that the channel is a different name, and they go back, and all the old videos are gone, and I just kind of give him a nod in the comment section, like, hey, I saw you reset your channel. Cool. I won't tell anyone. So now his name is Mortal Network. Broadcasting from space, it's Mortal Network. And he is awesome. He is fucking hilarious, and I want everyone to watch his stuff because he loves Dragon Ball Z so much that in his Binding of Isaac Let's Play, he edits in these parts where Ghost Vegeta in his head tells him to not do things because he's a fool and he has a mustache. And he does these Dead or Alive videos where he is an announcer from Dead or Alive, and he does that announcer voice from like 90s animes perfectly. Like, you know how that crying announcer voice of like the announcer's two favorite characters are fighting on the stage or whatever, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't pick." Blah, blah, blah. Like, he does that perfectly, and it's just so good. And it reminded me of Crying Archie.
Crying Archie is canon.
Did we ever tell Bushy about Crying Archie?
I don't know.
Bushy, did we tell you about Crying Archie?
I don't recall.
So,
Kind of you had to be there moment, but
I have the audio files, I think. Yeah, I think I still have the audio files. I think I recorded this on them on this computer. I'll send them over if you want, but we got ORAS at the exact same time on day one, and we got on a phone call or on a Skype call for 5
we were up
hours.
till like 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
It, and because we were so hyped, and we were like, "Whoa, the Dex Nav! This is gonna revolutionize everything!" We're basically the Dex Nav was cool because we were doing a comaruns, and I walked around forever until I could get a routes. I just camped that spot until I saw routes, and I was like, "Mine, dibs." I did a paired run too. That was. Oh. Did you do a paired run in your Ruby?
No, I actually was on Sapphire. I never finished. I'm still afraid to beat Norman because Martha's so frail.
You're so terrified of Norman. It's not Emerald
God.
Norman. He doesn't have 3 slackings.
I don't care. Knowing my luck, I'll lose somebody, and I'm very attached to them all.
Yeah. So we thought the Dex Nav was cool until we got to Petalburg Woods, and I was dicking around, and then Laura says, "Damn it, it got away." And I said, "What?" And she says, "So I used the Dex Nav, and I found a Slackoth." I said, "What's so special about Slackoth? You can trade for a Makahita." And she says, "This Slack, what move did it have?"
I think it had like Hammer
It
Arm.
had a hammer arm.
Oh my god.
And I was like, these things can have those kind of moves. I ran to like a few routes with skill swap or something. Like, I know you could find a hammer arm slack off.
That's pretty crazy.
So I ran back and ran through the areas I hadn't caught stuff yet, and this was about 4.5 hours in. So, I first caught a Pokemon in Pelberg Woods. I settled on a Wurmple. Guess why I caught the Wurmple?
Why?
I was like, and this is like verbatim because I was so tired. I was like, "Oh my god, Laura. I found the god item. The item that can make my Pokemon invincible. The problem is it's on a Wurmple.
God.
You gotta catch it." "Hey, Laura, I caught a Wurmple with a bright powder."
Oh my god.
Then I had Ike,
I caught a
the
Wurmple with bright
Beautifly.
powder.
Good times.
Yeah, you got, yeah. So, I was really, like, I was like, what am I gonna name this Pokemon? I was like, maybe I should name her, like, God or Untouchable. I'm gonna name her Pandora. Like, some kind of Pandora's box reference I still don't get to this day. And then I ran back to get her a pair. And I ran back all the way to the beginning of the map to that northern area where you usually find like your Wingull or whatever. And I ran around for half an hour looking for a 3-star Pokemon. And I was like, Laura, I found it. A Poochyena with Thunderfang. I'll name them Percy. And basically, that was when we just started saying, what have we done? I have I have a Zigzagoon and a Trico. Solid. I have a Ralts and a Wingull. Solid. A Poochyena and a Bright Powder Wurmple.
Oh my god.
I didn't use them to fight ever. I just used them for contests.
That's crazy.
It was amazing. But Crying Archie, what happened with Crying Archie was that we gotten a few more Skype calls, not video. And I was at the legendary fight. And I don't know if she had done her legendary fight yet, but I was commenting everything and I was reading them in the voices because whenever someone puts a mic in front of your face and you're playing a Pokemon game, how do you not read the voices out loud? How do you not? Who's your favorite person to read out loud? Like, say during a stream or something?
Oh, God. I haven't done that in a long time. I used to do that during my Pokemon Green Let's Play, but that was a time that we don't speak of because it was so long ago.
I should totally pull up some audio files. But basically, I did Archie. Archie had this voice. I'm gonna pause the recording once. Okay, so hopefully this doesn't ruin the recording. It shouldn't. So I have some of my old audio files here. Okay, and so I have episode 1, opening, episode 2, stuff, episode 3, what the fuck did we do? That's when I catch the Poochyena and everything. And that Bright Powder was so good. Episode 4, plot. Episode 5, Demon Pikachu and contests. So, there are a few things wrong with this Pikachu interaction. First off, I named my boxes after the cities that I used them in. Like, whenever a Pokemon died, or fainted, coma. Whenever that happened, I would go make a new box and label that box after the city I'm in. Because the whole point is you go back around, once you beat the game, you go to each individual Pokemon Center and wait and get your Pokemon back after they've woken up. Because you have to put them somewhere, because they're in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
And I named other places other names. And the first place was called Petalburg. That was the name of my first box. So when they gave me the Pikachu, it said Pikachu was sent to Petalburg. And I don't know how late at night it was I was playing this recording, but my brain said, oh, it's at your house in Petalburg. Let's walk to Petalburg from Slateport City. And I did that. And then I realized it was in the box. And I looked at it and I was just like, I came all the way for this demon. I got the cute cosplay Pikachu. Level 30, 10 levels above all my other stuff. And I was just like, no, this is evil. So I traded it to Laura for like a Poochyena.
Oh my god.
I just wanted to get rid of it.
Too mean to her. I have taken good care of her.
I don't even remember if it was a girl or a guy. It was just demon. It was just straight
I think
up demon.
that you can only have girl Pikachus and like dresses and stuff.
Yeah, it's only female Pikachu.
Just, oof. That's all I can say. Oof. So, and then I have Archie fighting awesome voice acting, which I'm gonna look into. Oh, it's just the Audacity files, which is fun. So I can do some pretty decent voice acting, I think. I actually plan on uploading a few videos where I do some stuff. Just for practice, I like to read off like names of magic cards, just in an epic voice, like Fruit of the First Tree, Gray Merchant of Asphodel, Rescue from the Underworld, and all sorts of other stupid voices.
Holy shit. You sound almost exactly like Olmec from the Hidden Temple.
What? Give me a line. Give me a line.
Who?
You never watched Legends of the Hidden
Legends
Temple?
of the Hidden Temple sounds just like Olmec. Holy shit.
What's a line from the show?
Oh, I know this show.
I don't even remember.
Um,
But that was like almost identical. It's crazy.
Four separate pieces of the halves of the pieces of the
Oh my
secret
God.
totems.
That's too real. That's too real for you to handle
The
this.
reason why I developed a changing my voice skill was because I had a Halo clan back in Halo 3 days in Halo Reach. But I was a squeaker hardcore. So I was like, I started hanging out with people that were a bit above my age group. So I was like, I need a way to have people who are older than me want to listen to what the fuck I have to say. So I started talking deep, and I was on Xbox so much, I was such a little shit back then, that I just started talking like that, and my voice just dropped over a while. And I was able to... People thought I was 18 on Xbox Live, let me just say that. And I was 12. Not even.
Hey.
Yeah, that's money. So, you know, some voices are pretty epic or natural or cool. And then there are some that are Archie. Let me just play this audio file right now. Let me just drag this over, and I'll put it over the mic probably, just to show you some vintage Archie quality. It has Ice Fang. I know it has Ice Fang. Okay, that's the fight. No, in the end, the only one. Everything is.
Except
I've
this
finally
is
done it.
another
I'm just
topic.
It hasn't even
wanna
finished because things
get
are
to,
evil.
so...
What?
I'm afraid of losing everything.
All that matters is that I've used the blue orb to awake. Beep 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 beep.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Okay.
Beep 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 beep. Is that the crew outside? What is it? Oh? So, the Great Deluge has begun. Bah, of course it has. This is exactly what I've... What? What?
If it completes its primal reversion.
Never mind that. Just keep an eye on it. Archie! What's going on outside? All that matters is that I've used the blue orb to awaken Kyogre. And now, that seems like a perfectly smart idea, and I'm not scared. It will return this world to its natural state that's best for Pokemon. I'll be fine. Archie, it appears that you've made a grave error regarding Kyogre's powers. What do you say? Stop! Everything's going perfectly according to plan. The beginning, the way it resets the world, it starts by diving every single living thing on this planet to death first. This path leads to an only escape the pair withstood. This wave brought us, dipshit. It's pure madness thinking you could ever control the super ancient Pokemon.
So yeah, that's me on those recordings.
That's crazy.
Yes. So yeah, the reason why Crying Archie is so important is because Crying Archie became canon in the post game. So when you beat the post game in Alpha Sapphire, there's an end game scene in the blue team's hideout. You know, with that stupid dude bro character, and he's all like, bro, I'm like, we don't have to do evil stuff anymore. I just want to be with you, bro. Up to Archie and everything, and I started doing, you know, Crying Archie voice and everything, like slowly becoming Crying Archie. Like, it's all right. It's all right. And then basically, it looked like a normal scene until, what's her name? The female admin from Team Aqua.
Shelly?
Shelly. Shelly's off in the corner, and she turns and she's like, God, will you two boys stop crying? And then Archie goes sniffle. And then on recording, I'm just like, Laura, Crying Archie's canon!
Oh my God.
I have this headcanon that Archie is just this big, buffy, pirate, dark-skinned crybaby. Just like
That's pretty great.
it's so good. Because voice cracks are amazing. Everyone knows that. And it was perfect because like that just moment where he realizes that he screwed up during that scene that I was playing, somewhere around there, and it's just like, it doesn't matter. Everything's fine. All that matters is that the world's gonna die.
Wow.
I love it. I voice acted in some machinimas, but I voice acted in one machinima that was actually big. So you could probably like count all the hour-long machinimas. There's probably like, not counting Rise of the Spartans, which every fucking episode is an hour and 10 minutes, but there are some movie-length, movie-style, movie-directed machinimas out there, about 10, 20 of them, that are amazing. And I was in one of the last ones. It was a big project, and I got the second to last speaking line. And it was 343 versus Bungie, you know. It was a Halo 4 machinima, and it was all about how Halo 4 is terrible and not made for machinima-maters and everything. And the moral at the end of it was, well, maybe it's not all that bad, but it still fucking kind of sucks. But the whole idea was that, you know, they switched around the first letters of famous people from 343 and everything's first and last names. I was at the very end, and I was Gil Bates. I was giving a Microsoft thing on Guardian, and I come out and I have, you know, a few lines. I'm like, "Gentlemen, it has come to my attention that blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "It's come to my attention that we are going to put the Halo franchise into new hands. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you Kobe Botaic," which would have been the last line in the movie if the director didn't have to put himself in the last shot and go like, "Gil, please call me Activision," and that's like, and that's, you know, the ending and everything. But the point was that in a very popular hour-long machinima, I had Pat the ODST in the credits, and I was a second to last speaking role, and I got a fucking monologue. So
There you go.
That was awesome. So yeah. At some point, I hope to be able to voice act Crying Archie in one of Laura's animations if she ever kills herself and does animations.
Maybe in the future, but not in the seeable future.
Someday.
Actually, there was one other thing I wanted to cover because we're running a bit low on time, but I wanted to ask Bushy about his stream he did last week because I was working literally like every day he did that.
The Triple B stream.
Oh my god. I can't believe that. That sucks. I mean, okay, so here's the deal. Recently, for those who for some reason may or may not know, the CEO of Nintendo in general, mostly also Japan, passed away. I believe it's been like a week and a half.
Yeah, it was really sad. I saw it and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I saw it while I was at Plattsburgh. I was in the bathroom on my phone, and I was like, I walked out and I turned to a dude, and I was like, dude, Satoru Iwata just died.
Yeah. Yeah, he passed away of a bile duct tumor, which he had been getting surgery on for a while now. A lot of people knew that he wasn't doing too well in the first place. A lot of people are conspiracy theorizing that's why we had puppets for this past E3.
Oh no!
Because he didn't look well enough to appear on camera, which he normally does.
Wow, that's genius.
Yeah, but recently I've been hosting a stream on my Twitch channel. It's a charity stream. It's I like to call it Stay Gold Iwata. That's the hashtag we generally use on Twitter and stuff.
Hashtag Stay Gold Iwata. Yep.
Yep. And it's pretty simple. I recently found out after doing some research that without Satoru Iwata, Kanto would not have been in Generation 2 at all.
Yeah. The guy was
apparently that's the thing.
Yeah. The guy was a genius programmer. You know, there's the quote. You know, on my business card it says I'm a corporate president. In my mind, I'm a game designer, but in my heart, I'm a gamer. But that game designer part, like, legit he built the entire Earthbound engine from scratch, and programmed a bunch of other games. And the he was basically like the guy to program shit when people needed help. And Game Freak went up to him and was like, "Hey, look, we have a new Pokemon game. Here's our region, but we want to add like a few more places to it, like an island or some shit. Can you make it just a little bit bigger? I mean, smaller, so we can fit it in on the world map?" He took it and was like, "I don't know what you guys are doing, but I can fit 2 of these motherfuckers in here." So he shrunk down Johto so much that they could fit Kanto in. So the reason why those games are so good, the reason why they're the best pure gameplay games ever, because they have the longest runtime to level 88, is because of Iwata. Because he shrunk the game down, and it's awesome. Imagine how boring it would have been without Kanto. Like, it was still good, but like, and Kanto doesn't last that long, but that was what set it apart from all the other generations, was that it was long.
I guess he did a
level
lot of
82.
stuff too for Pokemon Red and Green. I think it was mostly for like, I think it was some programming stuff, and I think it was mostly, it had a lot to do with the link cable.
Yeah,
I think
I bet.
something like that. But yeah, over the past week or so, me and my girlfriend Bree and my brother Brendan, we've been streaming an entire playthrough of Pokemon Gold. And it's been a lot of fun so far. So far, I think we're over $150
All
for
right.
the American Cancer Research Society, which is really cool. It pretty much just goes to a PayPal, which we're going to forward to the actual organization.
And there's incentive with the raffle.
Yep, we're raffling off a ton of stuff. I have a few amiibo I'm looking to get rid of. I have a boxed copy of Pokemon Yellow, and we have a bunch of special prizes that I haven't revealed yet. And I might actually pick up 1 or 2 while I'm at the convention at Otakon, just if I see anything really neat or whatever.
Yeah, you don't want Laura to go pick things up, because she'll just end up with a bunch of alpacas.
You know what? An alpaca.
I saw one of those at Plattsburgh.
There you go.
But yeah, it's $5 gets you every $5 you get a raffle for an amiibo, and $10 is a raffle for the yellow version, right?
Yep, and then we're pretty much gonna, if we have anything crazier than that, we'll bring it up or show it off or whatever. There'll probably be like a wrap up video where I go over everything, or we all go over everything, or something that everyone gets to know the details about. But.
Yeah, by far my favorite moments were solo Brendan drunk. Just
oh my god,
tired.
he
held the ship down.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much it. That's definitely how I would describe that.
But the best part was, you guys had been going for how long on the night you went to the cave?
Like maybe 5, 6 hours,
let's
something
say
like
5
that.
hours.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know what? We could wrap up right here. Then I don't know if it was someone in chat or no, it was one of you guys turns to the other and says, "Dude, it's Friday. We can catch Lapras." So you spend 2 hours trying to catch Lapras, which you name Hype Train.
Dude, that was great. That was probably the best
So
addition we
good.
could have made to our team.
Oh my
like,
god.
oh my god, Lapras is so good in Gen 2. It's ridiculous.
You were looking in every cave. Like,
Yeah.
too tired to look
honestly,
on Google.
it had been a long time since I played the original Pokemon Gold and Silver. So like I was trying to remember everything from memory, and it just sometimes it slipped. And Union Cave was what slipped. I was like, I don't even remember this area. This is stupid.
One of you was like, "Oh, I'll just go on Cerebi," and I'm in the chat screaming, "If you go to Bulbapedia, it has a map of everything." Like
Yeah, that's what we ended up doing. And as soon as we got to like a dead end, we were like, "Is this even right?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah, he's right over there in the pool. It's whatever."
So good.
Yeah, so I mean, as of right now, we left off right in front of the Elite Four, because there's a terrible level curve.
Oh god.
As far as the freaking, like the last 2 gyms and then the Elite Four are like a ridiculous curve for some reason.
Well, not to mention just Wild Pokemon 2 Chuck. Like I remember watching the original Wedlock, which was the inspiration for the Pairlock. I basically ripped it off and took out the marriage thing and the boy girl. Maryland, and he started off by playing Hard Gold and Soul Silver, and he went to fight Chuck, and he was just like, the trainers in here are stronger than like everything. Like the Pokemon outside of Signwood City were like 22, and then it was just like 34.
Yeah.
The jump even to Chuck is just gigantic.
We had to mess with like the RNG a little bit just to get lucky to make it this far.
The whole deal is that, oh my god, Morty.
Yeah, that was shameful, and I told him exactly what to do, and he just didn't do it, and he got bodied by freaking Gengar. That's what happens.
What ended up happening was that level curves. I can't think. My body just remembered that it's 12 at night. Late night hype. What was I gonna say? Something about a level curve. Man.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm currently doing now, though, is kind of mitigating that a little bit. I've been grinding for the past couple of days, so like it got to a point, where we were like, you know what, let's try just for kicks.
Hold up, Laura. Goodbye. See you. That's she says, by the way, just want to say I think the charity stream is literally the best. Literally the best way you could have honored Iwata. You guys can finish up the podcast without me. I look forward to watching the rest of you upload it. The rest when you upload it.
Great. Thanks for being here. Sorry that
Laura.
it's so late.
I'm gonna kick you.
I work ridiculous hours.
Yeah. I don't. Lazy ADHD piece of shit. Can't blame it on the ADHD. So yeah. So let's get into some leftovers. Unless you want to talk about Pokken Tournament a bit. Do you have anything?
Well, the last thing I wanted to say about the charity thing.
Oh, sorry.
Is we're still doing it. Like, it's still going on. We're gonna do a full playthrough. Like I said, I'm gonna be gone like from tomorrow until Sunday probably. During that time, I'll probably be grinding if I'm not doing something like at the convention. So once we get back, maybe Monday, I'm not sure, we'll probably continue where we left off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Not to mention Brendan's hype.
Yeah, he's excited about it. He's going off to college again this summer as well at the end of August. So
he's awesome. Like, he's really good with his stream. Like, he's really down and chill with people.
Yeah, it's cool dude.
Fucking anything. Like, I when it's late at night, I'll just like start talking about things that I'm interested in that no one else is, just forever. So you remember one of the first podcasts when I tried to explain to you Battle Frontier?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
So I told everyone about the DeviantArt thing forever, and the guy was just sitting there like, okay. Like, he clearly had no idea what was going on, but he tried really hard to understand it and like listen to it. Especially when we started talking about Pokemon Adventures, Pokemon Special.
Yeah.
And I want him to read that stuff, and like, that guy's so fun to have on stream. Like, whenever I get around to planning another Secret Potion adventure style, if you two were on, that would be fucking amazing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because, like, dude, okay, that when we first mentioned Pokemon Adventures, we did it because we were up against a certain gym leader. And unrelated to that gym leader, it just reminded us of something. And I was like, oh, dude, spoilers, right, Bushy? And Bushy was like, yeah, I see that in chat. No spoilers, chat. And as soon as you say that, this one guy was like, oh, are you talking about the Masked Man? And I was like, shh.
Oh, God.
And Brendan took it so well, he was just like, well, I'll figure out what that is later.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Lapras hype, though.
Oh, yeah.
Streams are amazing. I spent all yesterday on the Mana Source's live stream, and I was just like, oh, God, no wonder people do this. It's just... I have a smartphone now. I can just sit here and watch forever.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to get Laura or someone on a stream with me so I can play that copy of Emerald I have. Basically, what I'm doing is I have a copy of Emerald, and I'm playing it, and I'm going to get to the Battle Frontier, and I'm going to give copies to my friends of the save files and be like, let's try to beat the Elite Four, like either just one person or all of it, and like it's not going to be all on stream or anything, but like literally start the date and see who can beat it, because it's going to take everyone at least a month to beat like 2 of them, because it's so hard. It's ridiculous. Like, there is some of that stuff that I didn't even know about as a kid, because I just did, like the places were too intimidating. That temple, the pyramid, it's all just wild Pokemon encounters. No repels, no running, I think, or something like that. And you just have to survive to the top. You want to know the last time I ran off PP just from wild encounters? Mount Coronet, my first run of Diamond, where I resorted to just shouting roars at things because I was so underleveled. And I used up all the Whirlwind PP on my Staraptor. And I was like 5 PP away from having no moves on my Luxray shouting roars. Because even my Luxray couldn't outspeed the Golbats and stuff there because they're so high level. And then I went up, had amazing boss fights at the end of Mount Coronet. The double battle out of nowhere, then the battle there, and then the Cyrus battle, and then Dialga, who I caught with a timer ball.
Nice.
Timer balls are good though. Not as good as quick balls. This stupid shit.
Right.
One of my favorite Nate and Dookie moments. There's an animated thing if you want to look it up. It's called Counts, and they're doing a Soul Silver Nuzlocke or something. I think it was their Soul Silver run, and they're like, okay, let's get our first encounter in this area. When you enter a new area, the first encounter is your one chance at a catch there. Fucking Raikou shows up, and they're just like, what do we do? And then Nate and Dookie goes, dude, YOLO ball it. He grabs a quick ball, throws it, catches it. And he's just like, counts. It counts. It totally counts.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. It counts. Named it Counts. All caps.
That's great.
I mean, you're no better. You have a Lapras named Hype Train, which is amazing.
That's true. That is very true.
So yeah, I wanna stream some Pokemon, and I think that's it. Yeah, we covered everything. Did I? What's that? Oh, what is that? Oh yeah, comaruns. I didn't get to explain you mentioned during the stream once that you wanted a quick re-overview of comaruns.
Yeah.
Yeah, the short review of comaruns, and we'll have some comaruns on the channel soon enough. Is that Nuzlocke stuff? Nuzlocke ideal, but whenever something faints, it goes into a coma, and you take them to the nearest Pokemon Center, place them in a box, labeled at that town, and then you can't use them. And if you lose the run, like if you pull a Pro Jared and end up using pretty much every single Pokemon in the entire game and fail. By the way, spoilers, but Pro Jared, his Nuzlocke is one of the most heart-wrenching things ever, and one of the reasons why I made something to wipe out the death part of it. He did a Fire Red run. He caught on every single possible route, town, anything. Like, he even surfed in Misty's gym. I mean, fished in Misty's gym. Like, you can fish in the statues or something like that. He had every single Pokemon. And he beat the Elite Four with 2 Pokemon left in his party and 2 Pokemon left in his box. Everything else was dead.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. So there is still risk in a Comarun. If you lose everything, like if you completely wipe, or if you play where your whole team wipes once you lose the game, then they're all still in a coma, and never wake up. And to some people, that's worse than them being dead. So the whole point is that when they faint, they go into a coma, and when you beat the game, when you enter into the Hall of Fame, the machine, the Hall of Fame, radiates a pulse out that wakes up all the comatose Pokemon, and then you go back to each individual Pokemon Center and wake them all up, and it's happy. And then you can do whatever the fuck you want with them after that. You can train them up competitively. You can just leave them. You can make them into a character. But, first encounter, catch it. Only get one catch per route. When something faints, you have to deposit, all the normal Nuzlocke rules, but things don't die. Because, as I say, when things can die, and it doesn't make the end of the game feel good. You're playing through the whole game just for revenge of martyring and everything. It's not fun. It's just painful. And when you're done, it's just like, it's over. There's no reward. You're just able to leave. In a Nuzlocke, if you go out in a big, epic battle and you have one Pokemon left, that's not a victory. It's depressing. In a comaruns, like my comaruns, my Alpha Sapphire comaruns, if you go on a blaze of glory, if you are like destiny bonding and parish songing and explosioning in the final battle just to beat Steven, it all counts because it's literally all or nothing. In the final battle, 5 of my Pokemon fainted, and I switched in my boss accidentally crazy overleveled Cradily because I got it from Laura, who traded over, and I forgot about the experience boost you get when you have a traded Pokemon. So I had this, 64 or whatever, 78, I don't know, Cradily, and I switched them in, and they get hit by Metagross and get taken down into the red. Or something, into the yellow, I think it was. It was enough health so that Metagross wouldn't go for Bullet Punch, but you're gonna outspeed a Cradily anyway. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose if I can lose. Like, Metagross was on a sliver of health. I just need one attack. I'm just like, Cradily? Oliver? I love you, man. This is it. Giga Drain. Meteor Mash. Misses. Giga Drain. Win. Everyone comes back to life. Big party.
That's crazy.
Like, that's what a challenge run should be. Not, oh my god, I'm free and everything but this one Pokemon is dead. That's not a victory. Comaruns are amazing ways to spice up your challenge run. And, but another way to do that is do a paired run, which you can look up the Wedlock Maryland's video on it, or my video on the paired lock. It's basically a Wedlock, which is, catch things in pairs, but you take out the gender rule. The gender rule was you had to catch things boy, girl, because the guy grew up in Wisconsin. He doesn't know any better, progressively. And you couldn't catch genderless Pokemon. Yeah, so in mine, it's just you catch things and they get paired up. And the most important rule is that you can't access your PC while you have 6 Pokemon in your party. The only way you'll ever get something out of your PC is if you permanently retire something or something faints. So in a paired run or Wedlock, you catch things in pairs, which means you can only fight with them in a battle. Like, you can't switch out of that pair.
Mm.
And if one faints, the other has to avenge them. Which, but, like, the most important thing is that you can't use your PC unless you retire things. Like, there's a reason why I had my Pelipper all the way up until my Gardevoir fainted. And then I retired Pelipper. And there's a reason why I had a Linoon and a Hariyama when I was fighting Archie. They fainted fighting Archie, but they made it that long because I couldn't use my PC unless I retired things forever.
Right.
And if you have faith in your team that you can win and bring everyone back, then you can have these fun moments where it's a blaze of glory and you let something faint because you're letting them try their hardest. But there's still moments that just suck. Veronica, my Gardevoir, the one paired up with the Pelipper, got horn drilled in the very first underwater battle.
Oh my
Very
god.
first underwater battle, I talked to a scuba girl, and I'm like, "Oh, the scuba girl's designs are so cute." Sea King horn drilled my Gardevoir. And that was just so hard right. So I was just like, okay, Pelipper, you can just sit by her in the Lily Cove, center, and just like, I need a new party member. So there's still those crazy moments that just suck, but then there's moments where, in the Nuzlocke, they would be kind of sad or just annoying. But in a paired run, it's like, finally I get to free up a slot, and it's in a fun way. So I'm going through the entire lead up to the Archie fight in, right before Crying Archie scene happens.
Mm-hmm.
When he finally uses Mega. And I'm fighting everything with my Linoon and my Hariyama. And it's epic. And they're actually doing so much work. And then they get up, and I have a metronome on my headbutt Linoon. And she's just wrecking house. And Walter's coming in, fake out, all this other stuff. But try as they can, they couldn't get, Swalot gave them such a hard time. They couldn't get past Crunch on Mega Sharpedo. So they fainted, but they fought so hard. They were not cheated. And my only regret is that I did something really cheap. To fight Kyogre, I was really scared, and it was like I had not the perfect team, but I had the only team I could have possibly made up to that point that could fight the Elite Four, and I wasn't allowing anything to faint.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 2 free slots because those 2 had just fainted. So I put 1 Pokemon in my party, so that there was an unfilled pair, and I went to fight Kyogre.
Mm-hmm.
I took Kara, my from the Safari Zone, my Donphan, with Sturdy. Not only did it have Sturdy, but it had a move that was very important. I think it had Taunt or something, or I don't know what it had, but it had a move that allowed. Oh, I put Toxic on it.
Oh god.
I put Toxic on a Pokemon that could survive a hit with 1 HP. Like a level 30. And then I used a full restore. I used a Moo Moo Milk just to eke out a few more turns. That was really cheap, and I let Kara faint, and it was just I'm a bad person. And then Oliver mopped the floor with Kyogre.
Nice.
Yeah, good memories. So yeah, there's a paired comaruns ideal, the philosophy. Just so much more rewarding, so much better than a Nuzlocke.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, I get you say you don't do Chandruns, and I totally get it because, Nuzlocks, unless you're a YouTuber and you're just feeding off that shit, or you're a masochist, like some of the people on DeviantArt. Oh my god. So, Nuzlocke comic artists, the people who make Nuzlocke comics, are amazing. But there's one that made a very, very well drawn, awesome Nuzlocke comic that was just really, really dark. Wasserbienchen on DeviantArt has one of those hyper realistic styles of drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just this it's called In Black and White, I think. And it's the Pokemon are drawn as animals and everything, and it's this person. They're not a hippie, but they're I think she's a bit of a conspiracy theorist or something.
Okay.
And it's just all this stuff about oh, they're they don't have feelings and blah blah. So why do you care if they die or whatever? And Pokemon dying is just a normal fucking thing. And breeders, Pokemon breeders who breed competitively, there's the whole social commentary on that, are just there's just a scene that she draws out with just all these Joltik just stuffed in a wall for breeding, just thousands of them and shit. And the gym leaders, they fight, and their Pokemon, when they lose and give up badge, it's cockfighting. Like, Pokemon are supposed to die in the Pokemon battles, and when the gym leader's Pokemons die, they just take out new ones, and they just all day they're just like going through Pokemon, and it's just like and here's the best part about it. Okay, it's a black or white run, Gen 1. I mean Gen 5, not Gen 5.5. So you have N and all of this stuff going on, and it's just like, jeez, this girl's fucking crazy. She's really talented, but it's like, and you really want to read the comic, but it's so harsh. It's like, it's really sad, really, really sad. So if you want to cry your eyes out, go look up Wasserbienchen on DeviantArt with in black and white.
I might have to, honestly. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, just look at a few panels and just like the blood, the broken limbs on the purloin and shit. Like, even the professor in the very first comics, when she's giving these kids their first Pokemon, it's just like, she's like, there's nobody has any morals except for N and the main protagonist. Moth. So yeah, you done?
I think so.
Yeah. That was a long tangent.
As far as I can tell. Yeah.
That was awesome, though. I finally have a legitimate FullRestore podcast, not any of the side ones or anything like that. Like, I have a FullRestore podcast here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Awesome.
I think the last one was a 3-person one with you and Laura.
From what I can remember, yeah.
Yeah. So, good luck with the stream, and I hope you and Brendan get to reading Pokemon Adventures at some point.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to, definitely.
You told me that you read it, and you told me that you actually, like, read the copies and everything, but I didn't know, like, I was talking about them, and he's just like, Brendan's just like, oh, yeah. Like, 5 feet behind me is every single one. I'm just like,
yeah, I have everything up through Ruby Sapphire, so.
Yeah. I said, oh, he doesn't have.
I'm gonna try and see if I can find Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yep.
Also.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good night.
And feed your crying Archies.
That's it.